Hello, Stream Manager. It says I'm live, but it's not. There it goes. Okay, Stream Manager's going. Cool. Cool. Alright, we are back. The plan today is to use chunk base, I think, to figure out what to do about the Nether situation, so we can hopefully find a fortress, because we have enough. I think we have enough fire res to last us a decent little bit in the Nether. We definitely have enough blocks. I'll probably limit myself to just like my sword, my bow, and my pickaxe, because if I have to replace those, I already have before. Oh, I'm only at level 23. I thought I was at level 28 for some reason. If I was at level 28, I was gonna fish enough to get to level 30 to do one more level 30 enchant, but since I'm at level 23, I think I'm just gonna finish off our helmet, and then leave it at that for now. Alright, Thorns, Aqua Affinity, Respiration, Prot, Unbreaking, Mending, and it's Prot 4 still, not Prot 5. I wonder if they'll ever add Prot 5. Prot 4 is pretty effective. Broke the anvil again. We've been going through anvils like crazy in this world. Screw scrolling, I'm just gonna do it the normal way. Sometimes I like crafting the normal way once in a while. It reminds me of when I used to actually play in the old versions. Alright, so we have a finished helmet, which is sick. I'm definitely not wearing it into the Nether because that's a lot of effort and time, and I am not losing it. I'm definitely wearing throwaway armor into the Nether. Like, I might even wear a regular diamond helmet and our regular diamond boots just to give us a little bit better armor, or like our regular diamond boots, because we definitely have all the enchants we need for diamond boots, but I don't know how I'm supposed to put those together correctly, so maybe we don't do that. Maybe I'll just put, like, I guess leather boot. I don't really want to do leather boots. Maybe we have soul speed that's extra. Yeah, we have soul speed 1. We'll throw soul speed 1 on like leather boots or something just for the hell of it. But we'll combine them to make a full pair instead of these half broken damn things. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna give in and use chunk base. Why does it automatically put it on you? I guess I'm gonna give in and use chunk base to figure out where a fortress might be. There's a like 50% chance it doesn't even give me an accurate location for a fortress, because I tried to use chunk base in my world with my partner and we had like terrible luck actually getting anything useful, so I don't know. I have no clue. So we're gonna leave behind this, and this, because I don't trust anything when it comes to the Nether anymore. And then we'll have to stock up on some food, and stock up on some blocks, and stock up on fire res. Blocks. There is a reason I'm keeping this much quartz. It's because I want to trade it with stonemasons when we have our own villagers, because that's an easy little way to get emeralds and XP fairly frequently. And also it's useful if I need it for builds. Alright. Splash, 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 regular, regular, regular. Okay, we've got a decent little bit. We'll keep the regulars lined up like this. We'll keep our splashes in their hotbar. I'm gonna keep 1 regular and 2 splashes, because if we fall in, the splashes aren't gonna help us much. So we kind of need the regular. Okay. And I'll keep torches because I use them to mark where I've been or to kind of give me a guide or back towards where I'm going. So I gotta look at the seed and figure out what the seed is to input it into chunk base. And then I guess we'll go see what happens. I don't know. I guess that's really all we can do. I guess I'll bring some bundles with me in case bundles might help storage wise, because we will have a pretty full inventory and we might get loot. I do want to bring a flint and steel with me, unfortunately, because it fills up my inventory more, but I can put away this one plank because just having wood is fine. And I'm not downsizing the amount of arrows I have because I go through them fast in the Nether. Okay, I want the flint and steel just in case, like, I have to burn stuff that I drop, or, I have to relight a portal. Okay, I guess we're gonna... Where is my seed? There it is. Hey, welcome back. How are you tonight? I'm gonna see if I can open up chunk base and if it'll give me any helpful answers. I kind of hate this because I wanted to find it myself, but honestly, I'm so tired of dying in the Nether. Okay. 2 cups of coffee, feeling good. Nice. Coffee is good. I am on my 2nd cup of green tea for the night. 539. I honestly didn't wake up until like 2 p.m. today. 72626. 7449. 1816. 785. And we are not in Java, we are in Bedrock. Most recent version of Bedrock. I want the Nether. And I want... How do I see what these things are? Nether Fortress. Alright, so I've got it open. What I want to do is get into the Nether and then see what chords we are at in the Nether to be able to see what chords I have to look for to see the closest one. Alright. Okay. Let's see if we can do anything productive this time around, huh? I'm alright. Like I said, I kind of slept late today. I didn't fall asleep until like 6 in the morning again. And my partner didn't have to get up and leave very early, so we both just passed out. He slept until like 2:30 and he woke me up like right after he woke up. And then he left around 4:30, so mostly just been chilling now. I've been home for about an hour on my own. Why are they all just congregating in the corner there? There must be something through that wall they're targeting. There's so many of them that won't despawn now because they have the armor that they picked up. Yeah, it's been a bit of a mess. But, I've got quite a few hours before he gets home tonight. He's going out to dinner and out, I don't know where, with his family. And he said he probably won't be done where he's going until like 10 or 11. So, I'll have some time. But yeah, I'll go get that for food in a second. But yeah, and then I'll get it now before it can despawn. So I'm just vibing. I'm not gonna stream the whole time he's gone, just because I do want some time to read and relax, but I will stream for a decent little portion of it because we want to get some stuff done. I'm really... I haven't looked much into Japanese history. That's interesting. I really want to get... It despawns right as I'm shooting an arrow into its skull. I really want to get some blaze rods and stuff because we need it. Alright, so... I gotta get back to... positive right here. It looks like this is the closest one right here, which is negative 117, negative 149. That's interesting. I think I vaguely knew that they've like split up into different countries and regions and then kind of rejoined and stuff over the years, but I don't know much else. Alright, so let's hope that this is correct. It says negative 117, negative 149. They're gonna chase that hoglin down. That's sick. I love watching them do that. Okay, so negative 117, negative 149 really isn't that far. It's this way. So let's go over here and see what we find. A lot of empty space. This is where we died earlier in the game. So I'm not going towards that edge no matter how much you pay me. Because that edge is where I died and lost my gear last time. What's the first one? Oh, I'm going the wrong way on my X cord. I'm dumb. I went up here for nothing. I'm kind of derpy when it comes to cords sometimes. Sometimes I think I see something that's correct and I'm not. So I need to go this way and that way. I love how your sprint just completely whacks out after you're off soul speed when the game's lagging. Alright, so we need to go this way, which is a way we haven't really been yet, so we probably could have found it on our own if we tried going this way, but I don't know. Oh shoot, did I write down the coords of the portal? I don't think I did. I'm gonna run back up and write down the coords of the portal, because otherwise I can't get back home. Inexperienced. Wrong way. Fair enough. My best friend was actually just talking about maybe getting me, PS Plus for my birthday so that her and I can play Minecraft together, which would be sick, because then I could also do, server games on stream. I keep telling her not to because I'm like, that's your money, lady, but she's sweet. She'll friggin' do it whether I tell her to or not to anyways. I ought to tell her I just want her to, come visit me for my birthday, because I haven't seen her in ages. Like, years. Oh, I already do have it written down. 58, 84, 54. Okay. I guess I came back here for nothing. Yeah, and you could join. Oh god. That's 3 hoglins. I see the one behind them too. This is power 5. It one-shots most normal mobs. And it takes 3 goddamn shots at point-blank range to take out these damn hoglins. It's ridiculous. Kill him, please. Alright. Yeah, I want to do, like, multiplayer stuff on stream more often, but I just haven't gotten to it very much. I made, like, a whole multiplayer world that I wanted to do multiplayer survival on when I hit 50 followers, and then I hit 50 followers and I wasn't playing, and I also didn't have, yeah, if we explored this way, we would have found something very easily. It's much easier to navigate. Yeah, and then I didn't have PS Plus, and I also wasn't playing at the time, so it just kind of didn't happen. Yeah, I think I see the edge of it right now. No, I don't know what that is. Oh, it is the edge of it, because that's a wither skeleton. Get out of my face. Get... How did he hit me around the corner of a damn wall? That's what I'd like to know. I got a skull off the second wither skeleton I killed in this world? That's insane. No lag, now is not the goddamn... Are you kidding me? Are you serious? It lagged out and it caused me to die. Are you serious? That is such a dumb goddamn way to die. Y'all saw that. That was not my fault. Every other death has been my fault. That one is adamantly not my fault. I don't care what anyone says, that was not my fault. And now my dog's climbing in my face. Like, Mom, stop being angry. I'm not angry, I'm just very confused. Maybe I need, like, golden apples or something to survive. Yeah, like, it just straight lagged up and froze on me. I guess we'll take some golden apples. Yes, I'm taking god apples because evidently I need them. God, that's so dumb. At least it was like a solid area, so hopefully most of my stuff survived. I know there was a ledge near me, so I'm sure some of my stuff died. That's so frustrating. Sorry, I had to do the silly voice because my dog is in my face. Like, stop being frustrated. Every time I get frustrated at the game or at anything, she, like, climbs in my face trying to be like, Mom, don't be angry. If I get frustrated while I'm driving, the dog tries to climb in my lap while I'm driving, and I'm like, dude, you are in my way, you're gonna cause an accident more than my frustration would. Like, I placed a block here to get up, and it's gone. Bedrock is something else. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, there was a ledge, so I'm sure some of my stuff fell. I'm eating this. I'm eating this. I'm screwed. God. At least I picked up my sword. I gotta try to be quick, because if I'm not quick, I'm gonna screw up and lose the rest of my stuff to despawn. But I'm, like, trying to organize what I have real quick so I can kill these guys. I'm also baffled that I got a skull off, like, the first dude I killed. I got an achievement, though, so that's sick. I don't really want to read what the achievement was. Alright, alright, alright. I don't care about you guys. You guys are semi-easy to kill. Okay, it didn't fall into, like, lava, it just fell down the cliff a little. That's fine. That's survivable. I need to eat, so I need to, like, get out of here. Yes, I'm wasting a fire res, because I feel like I'm gonna get knocked into something. Okay, I gotta organize my inventory. I gotta eat. I gotta do a lot of things. Need my food. That god apple saved my life there. A lot. I lost like half of my fire res pods, which was a little bit frustrating. I'm sure they're just somewhere on the ground over here though, and I just have to look for them. Hey, it's a blaze. That's exactly what we're looking for this time. Okay. I'd like to get towards the fortress while I still have active fire res. Yeah, they're just on the ground here. Okay. These damn wither skeletons though. What the hell? God. Being in an S&P for $100, that's a little confusing. Oh god, they're trying to shoot at me. Why are you offering people money for one? For two, no, I'm not really interested. There can't be an SMPs right now. I play Bedrock and I need PS Plus to, be able to play with anyone else. We have 2 Wither Skulls already. Huh? I mean, I guess that's the benefit of that many Withers. My partner and I had to hunt Withers for hours to get 3 Wither Skulls. Alright, hopefully it made things despawn a little. It did, by the looks of it. I'd rather deal with blazes. Oh. I'd rather mostly deal with blazes in closed quarters, like at an actual blaze spawner. Sorry, I'm super focused on not dying to these wither skeletons. The spawn rates are insane. I mean, I know I have it on normal mode, but god. Walk my fish on the moon. I'm trying to kind of explore. I'm also trying to, like, just find a blaze spawner and get it over with and write down where the spawner is. There's a lot of blazes in general. I think that's a spawner right there. Yeah, this is a spawner. Okay, so let's work on optimizing it. I'm not gonna super optimize it, like, you know, speedrunner and stuff, but I wanna, like, enclose it and mine down a level or two. Probably 1 level. I was standing still and that dude super overshot. Okay, so I'm gonna also make a little blockade for the hall itself, and I'll turn that into a door in a minute. Let's place down a crafting table. Let's drink a fire res. We already have 14 blaze rods, so we already have quite a few to last us a little bit. So it's basically just a matter of doing this the way we want to do it. Alright. This is going to be difficult, but I'm trying to be quick. Alright. Alright. I don't know why my phone just went off. I will check it in a second. I think it's probably just Christy. We really don't need to kill any more of these guys, so we could just leave this open, but I don't wanna. Oh god. I need my god apple. Okay. I just want to make sure, like, nothing else can attack me for 1, and for 2. These guys are a little easier to kill when I need to kill them. Alright, so I'm gonna mine these. Just because they kind of bug me to have open like that. I know I don't really need to by any means, but it bothers me. I did not see that, but I'm not surprised. It does, in fact, still exist. A lot of people mistakenly think that, I'm not saying you're one of those people, but a lot of people I know, like, mistakenly think that the plague has just not existed for the last multiple centuries, but it still has existed. It's just a matter of where it's existed and how prevalent it is. It's still been very common in, like, a lot of countries. I think India was one of the top ones for a long time for still having record of the plague. We're gonna end up with like over a stack of blaze rods from how long we're sitting here trying to enclose this. There we go. It's not optimized by any means, like I mentioned, but it's definitely something. I mean, it's not great to hear that the plague's around in the US and stuff, but it was kind of inevitable. Inevitable. With the fact that it still does pretty prevalently exist in many regions, and the fact that we just keep on getting lovely illnesses coming our way in the world in general. What the heck? That's dumb. Not you, the doctor. Friggin' doctors. I mean, I'm glad you're still trying to go to doctors, but that's dumb. I'm sorry. Not fair at all. Alright, there we go. We've got a nice little blaze spawn area. We got quite a few blaze rods to settle us for a while. We still have a couple god apples left. Maybe we'll just farm blazes for XP a little? I don't know. I'm gonna write down. Yeah, I feel you. Doctors are incredibly frustrating to deal with, especially like that many. Alright, so blaze spawner, negative 65, 56, negative 193. I'm not gonna write down the fortress coords because the blaze spawner kind of tells me that. There's a bastion that's a treasure room bastion. It says at 336, 128. I don't know if I want to deal with that. Yeah, this is definitely not optimized, but it's fine. It's still a space where they'll spawn, you know? Case in point. I was thinking maybe I'll farm them for some XP, but honestly, they're such slow XP, I don't think it's worth it. And being that we have 49, we might be fine for a while. I think I'll farm them until I get a stack. Just to make sure. I know that's a lot, but I plan to do a lot of like potion brewing and stuff, so it'll kind of make it so that I don't have to come back here for a very, very long time, instead of having to come back fairly frequently. Because I can't stand having to traverse the Nether over and over again. Hopefully before the 27th one. Ow, hello, cat. That's my spine you're standing on. Thank you. My cat climbed up on my back and just started kneading my goddamn spine. Thanks, cat. Definitely needed that. Guess she's trying to give me a massage and cannot succeed. You know what? I'm leaving that crafting table. In case I need it for anything else, I'll take it with me. I was gonna leave it here because then it'd be a nice little crafting station, but I could need it for other things, so. Yeah, very bloody massage. She's okay about keeping her claws in when she's kneading, so it's not like super heavy on her clawing me, it's just her damn pressure of her peats. Yes, I said peats. I do not care. That is what I use for a word. Another skeleton. Thought I heard one come down behind me, but I was like, just keep running. Maybe they'll forget you eventually. I don't know why I hadn't explored this way yet. Like I said, if I had just explored this way, I would have easily found this. But no, I hadn't yet. Kinda dumb. You know what? I don't want to be in this fortress anymore. I didn't find any loot. I don't want to sit here trying to find loot. I think I'm just gonna explore around a little. I hear hoglins, so I'm gonna try to get in this hole. Nope, okay. I guess I just hear them because they're everywhere in this biome. Alright, I'm just trying to get some XP. Maybe explore a little. See what we can see. My partner's cat, on the other hand, is not good about keeping her claws in, regardless of whether she's kneading or not. She tends to, like, she has really hooked claws for some reason, some of the most hooked claws I've seen on a cat, so she can't really figure out how to remove her claws from things, because they're so curved. So she'll just kind of, like, dig her claws in, whether it's to hold on to you because she's nervous, or kneading or whatever, and it's not very comfortable. Definitely not a comfortable experience. Would not recommend. She's a sweetheart, but God. Fair point. That is, like, kind of outlawed in a lot of places, though, to, you know, not wear bathing suits around the ocean. Nude beach vibe. Can you guys kill this one before it tries to kill me, please? No? Okay, I'll kill it myself. Yeah. Like. Yeah. Oh god, that was almost terrible. Walks right off into lava after I got exactly what I wanted from the Nether. That's kind of what cracks me up, is like people that are like, you know, wear crop tops, do this, do that, of like exposing your body more, and I'm like, I'm all good. I am definitely overweight and nobody needs to see that. All set. Thanks. Hoodie blankets sound amazing. I used to have one of the, I don't know if it was like an American only thing of like the Snuggies, or like it was like Snuggies or Snuggles or something like that. I think it was Snuggie. It was like a blanket, combined with like a hoodie type thing. It didn't have like a hood on it, but it had sleeves, so you could wear it, and it had big pockets, and it was really nice. I quite enjoyed it. But I do not have it anymore. Oh god. Tries to jump over the lava and just rams my face into something. Haha, can't catch me now. Yeah, it was like it was kind of like a like jacket combined with a blanket, and they called it Snuggles or Snuggies. Fair. I get kind of ridiculed for it because, like, there's the whole concept that, like, being a, you know, femme presenting person, you're supposed to, like, dress up or, like, look good for your partner and stuff, and I do not dress up. A wither skeleton just got killed by a piglin? Question mark? I don't dress up. Like, I never dressed up, really. The most fancy I've gotten is, like, a couple of my birthdays or, like, one of his birthdays. So, 99% of the time, you're gonna find me friggin' slumped wearing, just pretty much PJs or whatever is comfiest. I'm not much of a dress-up person. Femboys are cool. I do agree. I would say femboys are attractive, but we're not going to go that far. Femboys are cool. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm not really a makeup person either, and a lot of people think, like, dressing up and looking fancy is supposed to be makeup and all that for female humans. And don't get me wrong, if I knew how to do makeup, I would be wearing makeup so goddamn often, because I find it super... I would go that far too, but I'm like, I don't want to be weird on the stream. Yeah, but, if I knew how to do makeup, I would definitely be wearing makeup very often, because I find it really fascinating, and I like that you can do absolutely crazy stuff with it, and, like, look all kinds of ways and stuff, but I don't know how to use makeup, so, despite the sheer mass of it that I own, so I haven't, like, done anything with makeup, and I don't do anything with makeup. I don't know, I own a few, like, sets of clothes that are super dressy that I like, but other than that, I'm good. I used to just be, like, even before I transitioned or identified anywhere differently, I would wear, like, a button-up and stuff to formal events. When I was a band kid, we used to have to wear, like, formal, you know, fancy clothing for our concerts and stuff, and I would always just wear, like, a button-up and a tie, which I still can't tie a tie to save my life, but, you know, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I definitely, the few times I have messed with it, it gets a little overstimulating really fast. But I don't know. I find it fascinating, and I wish I could participate in it, I guess. And I just am not that person. Like, I own a couple button-ups that I really like that I would consider kind of fancy. I don't know if I still fit in them, because I've definitely changed weight ranges since I last wore them. But I have those. I have, like, one dress that's, like, my favorite dress ever, that I've reworn for events, like, 5 times now. And that'll definitely be, like, a staple for me. It'll be really cool, though, when I get my next tattoo, because it'll showcase my next tattoo a lot better. It's, like, a kind of off-the-shoulder type thing, so it, like, showcases, like, my collarbones and, like, the upper part of my chest, not, like, cleavage, but just the upper part of my chest. And I'm getting my next tattoo in my collarbone region, so it'll be really cool, I think, when I have that to wear that dress again. For now, it just kind of makes me look like Casper even more than I already am, because it just shows off, like, here, my collarbones are completely white. I have a little bit of a tan on some of my arms and on my neck and my face, but the rest of my body is ghostly at all times. And it kind of draws a little attention to that, which is whatever. I can cover up my legs being ghostly because I just wear tights, but not so much with my chest. But yeah, I don't know. I want to be a dressy person sometimes, but it's the same situation where like dressy clothes often feel like they're suffocating or overstimulating really fast, and then I just want to like go home and not function for ages. So it doesn't, I don't know. It's like the idea of going out being not my thing much anymore because it's just not worth the overstimulation. It's kind of like that. Do you have cancer? That's such a weird, like, rude-ass question to ask someone. I don't normally swear on stream, but that's, I don't know. I had to mute for a second because I had to cough. I felt it coming and I did not want to scream cough into the microphone. Forgets that I can crouch and just stands there being murked by magma. Alright, we gotta get up here. I'm honestly just trying to slowly make my way back to home. I don't think there's anything else we need to do right now in the Nether. I'd love to find a bastion for the netherite upgrade template, but like that treasure room one that's semi-nearby might be a good idea, but I also know a bastion means I'd probably die in like 0.5 seconds. Because I'm really not good at surviving. So I don't know if it's really worth it. Especially because I'm low again on fire res pots. And I don't have good gear. I'd basically have to like bow everything I saw. And then they could still drop on me while I'm trying to loot. And I'm scared. I'm scared. But yeah, I don't understand why someone would ask that question. That's really rude of a question to ask someone. Where is my portal? It's supposed to be right here-ish. Not right here, but like this way. Did I just come up the wrong ledge or something? Maybe I gotta go around this corner. Yeah, fair. And you're allowed to think that. You're the person experiencing it. I get cracked up with like gendered questions and gendered comments from people a lot. I don't get them much anymore because I'm a little more, like I've said, kind of femme presenting 90% of the time, so people just kind of assume to use she, her, and that I'm a woman, which is irritating, but it's not like I can get that mad at them given that I am kind of presenting that way. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm 1,000,000% the person to be like, you know, our presentation does not equal our gender, but I'm also the type of person to be logical about it and be like, if I'm in a small town presenting as a female, it's going to get me misgendered. It's just a fact of existence. You're fine. I generally identify as non-binary, but, like, they pronouns are fine, he pronouns are fine. If it's anything gendered, I tend to prefer male gendered terms, or, like, neutral terms. So yeah. I kind of clarify, like, the full terms and pronouns thing, because I know plenty of non-binary people use all pronouns, or, you know, use they and she, or they and he, and so I just kind of do a quick little overview of things. Where is my portal? Portal 588454. So it's up here. Yeah, no, I agree. I like to know about people that I'm talking to just as like a, you know, being able to address them correctly if I'm like talking about them, but when you're talking to them, it doesn't really matter that much, you know? Guess I'm gonna go around and see if I can get up. That did give me a heart attack as well. I'm trying to figure out how the hell to get back up where I'm supposed to get. I think I can get back up through this way. Because that lava is not helping me. There's some more gold. I know it's risky to mine the gold because there's piglets around, but yeah, lava is a big no-no, especially in the damn nether. Hey, I found it. Especially in the nether because you mine one thing of lava and suddenly... Thanks, bedrock lag. You mine one thing of lava and suddenly it's like everywhere in half a second flat and you're being drowned in fire. Not a nice time. Alright, let's go home before we die. Success, finally. I'm pretty sure I'm out of gold armor and that's why they're angry at me. No, I have gold armor on, so why the hell are they angry at me? What did I do to them? I know it was a piglin because I heard the crossbow reload. I don't understand. It couldn't have been from me mining gold because I did that like 20 blocks away. God, I heard that pig sound right as I was about to go through the portal fully. It gave me a heart attack. Yeah, like in the overworld, you're like, okay, there's lava above me. I have, you know, 10 whole minutes before this stuff's gonna actually hit me. In the friggin' nether, however, God, it's like lava, and then suddenly I'm drowning. We still have 4 to spare. Yeah, it's basically just, you're screwed. That's how I am 90% of the time. That's why I have to keep blocks, like, right next to my pickaxe, otherwise I'm completely screwed over, because it's just, nope. Too late. I kind of was already on edge ready for it, though, because I'm thinking in my head, you know, I finally got this thing that I've been trying to get for ages, which is the blaze rods. You know damn well the game's gonna try to screw me out of it and drop something that's gonna try to kill me. Okay, so we can finally brew, which means we can finally get our own villagers. This is insane. This is like a huge step. Massive step. Because if we can get our own villagers, we can have a whole hell ton of them. Yeah. No, I agree. I have really slow reflexes too. If you played Minecraft back in the like PS3 days, there used to be the multiplayer options that were like battle and spleef, and there was another one I think. And I used to love playing the battle one because it was kind of like Hunger Games-y. Like there was, you know, a map with chests, and y'all would like spawn in and have to try to like murk each other and everything, and chase each other around the map and all that. Yes, Elytra is the other one. I couldn't remember it. I do remember that one. I was like, I know there's a third one, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I remember. I was iffy about the Elytra game mode because for the longest time I couldn't even operate Elytra correctly. Now I'm a little better at Elytra, so I'd kind of be curious if I could do it. I wonder if PlayStation 3 has streaming capability built in. I thought it did. I still have my PS3, so I might even try to stream from it someday. and show y'all some of my old worlds and play some of the old game modes. It'd just be kind of sucky because I guarantee not many people queue up in them anymore since it's been so many years. I think the last time I tried to queue up in Battle, it did not have, like, anyone. And Battle's kind of weird for me, so, like, fun story. I used to play Battle a lot, especially with my younger brother, because it was just, like, something we did all the time. And it was really fun, but, like I said, I was kind of slow at it because of, like, bad reflexes and stuff like that, so I was, like, not the greatest player. And we met this player who was, like, super good at it. He had, like, super fast reflexes. He did a lot of the same stuff that my little brother did for, like, getting around things and kind of cheaty vibes. And, like, him and my little brother were talking all the time. But the thing was he was my age. And him and I ended up, like, talking, and we, like, created worlds to play on and stuff outside of playing Battle, and then, you know, we exchanged, like, social media and Snapchat and all that, and it was it was a time. He lived, like, one state away from me, so we were like, oh, we're gonna meet up and stuff, and then it turned into dating, and nothing against him as a human, just, like, when things turn into dating when I'm close friends with someone, it never goes well for me, ever. I wish it did, because that's kind of how I form attraction, is when I'm able to be really close with friends with someone beforehand of dating. But every time I have, like, tried to date someone that I'm extremely close friends with, it never works out, and then it sucks because people's mindsets are like, you know, if we didn't work out dating, we can't be friends now. And it's like, no, you were my best friend. But, yeah. We were really close friends. It turned into dating, and then the dating didn't work out, and then, like, whole mess of stuff, which was partially my fault, because at the time my raging BPD was not at all nice, and, like, when we broke up, I was, like, being weirdly jealous about his situation, because he, like, met someone that was close to him in real life, and got to date them, and I should have been, like, happy for him, but I was just, like, petty and jealous and dumb, so I kind of ruined it in that case. And then, like, we ended up just, like, stopping talking, and I think he blocked me on, like, everything, which sucks, because we had so many cool Minecraft worlds together and stuff, too. But it's alright. It happens. I feel you there. That's what happens a lot with my little brother. My little brother has a lot of issues with, like, meeting people online, because he doesn't really make friends in person much. He's 19. He doesn't make friends in person much, so he's always been, like, a Discord kid, and he makes a lot of friends through his servers and online and stuff. And he'll get, like, really, really close with people, and they'll be, like, really close friends, and then they'll just, like, randomly ghost him or block him, and he doesn't really know why. It's usually because of, like, something he said, but for the most part, it's nothing outrageous, and it's just kind of, like, a little weird, or, you know, something a little bit off to them. And it's just off enough that they just, like, ghost him or block him or whatever. And he's like, I don't understand. They were my friend. What happened? He gets really broken up about it sometimes. Like, I think it happened with someone a while ago. And he was, like, really close with them, and they were, like, gonna meet up and stuff. And then they, like, blocked him, and he didn't know why. And I mean, it sucks because, you know, even if you block someone and you decide to go against it, you can't really... There is no really coming back from it in a way, because, you know, you made that decision, so you can't really be like, sorry, want to talk again. Yeah. The block button has been overused a lot in my life as well. I'm not someone that likes to block people for whatever reason, you know, I'd rather just tell them, hey, I don't want to talk to you, and just be real about it. I'm not someone that wants to, like, ghost someone and like, block them or anything like that. It's just weird to me. Because in my opinion, you can literally just say, hey, I don't want to talk to you, and 9 times out of 10 the person will respect that. And, you know, in the 1 times out of 10 they don't, then you could block them, type of thing. But I've had to block people a lot in my relationship now, because he's super heavy on, like, if someone messages me that's kind of, like, being a creep or being weird, he's like, block them, and I'm like, just ignore the message, I don't care. They're not gonna... If I keep ignoring them, they're gonna give up eventually. It's not like I'm actively interacting with them, but whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I've gotten blocked a lot. I think that's why I have that mindset, because it's just like, it's really stupid and annoying to be like trying to talk to someone or be, you know, close with them or be in a relationship and then they block you and you're like, what? But I definitely have deserved it in some of the cases that I've been blocked. Like I said, you know, in that instance I was being really jealous and petty, and like, you know, I'm not helping that person's life or making his life any easier, and I'm sure he could have just told me to stop talking to him and I would have, but he just blocked me, and in that case I'm like, you know, it's fine. If he didn't want to tell me to stop talking, then fair. I'm acting not okay. So it happened a lot in school with relationships, which is so dumb too, because, you know, I'm in school with these people, I see them every day, and they think that blocking me after we break up is like some big thing, and I'm like, I still see you every day. I mean, yeah, if you blocked me, I'm gonna take the message and leave you the hell alone, but you still see me every day, dude. What? Huh? There was this one girlfriend I had, and she was like super confused about whether she liked me or not, because she liked me before I transitioned, and then when I transitioned she's like, I still like you but I don't like you as a guy because I'm a lesbian, and like it was like this weird thing. And like she like broke up with me way back like in middle school, and I like obviously was really hurt, and I was like really upset, and I wasn't even like upset at her, I was just upset, and I think I like ended up sitting in the hall crying for ages and stuff like that, and she ended up just like blocking me, and I didn't understand it because I was thinking, you know, the same thing, like, I see you every day in school, how is that gonna change anything? But yeah. And then like years or months down the road she would unblock me and start talking to me again, and then she'd block me again, and it's just so weird. I don't get it. It's like manipulative in a way. It makes no sense. You know, like especially the second time, because she like unblocked me months or years down the road and started talking to me again, and then she started flirting with me again. And like the reason she had unblocked me was because we had to interact with each other in school, because I had started being homeschooled, but I went back to school to take piano class, which was the same class as her. Me too. It was like the same class as her, so we had to interact, so she like unblocked me just being friendly to talk to me, and then she started flirting with me, and then she goes, well, I like you but I don't like you as a boy, and I'm like, I don't, huh? And then because I was just like explaining, you know, that's who I am, that's not gonna change, she like blocked me again. And I was just like, okay. At this point I think she has me unblocked, and I have her like added on Facebook, and I see her post once in a while, but we don't really interact or anything besides just existing and seeing each other around. I don't even live back in my hometown anymore, so I don't see her much anymore in person. But yeah, it was so weird. I'm guilty of doing stupid stuff like that as a kid too. I was super like low-key manipulative as a kid sometimes, because I would like have a friendship or have a relationship and we'd break up and I'd stop talking to them, and then like months down the road I'd start like pestering them again, trying to be friends, and then the lines would blur because I still kind of had feelings for them, and it was just stupid. So stupid. I regret everything of some of my actions as a child. I was I was not a good person as a teenager and a child. I'm not saying I'm a great person now, but I'm better. I don't do that stuff to people. I'm all set. I'm definitely still the person that would like want to be friends with my exes if things ended fine, because not because of having feelings for them anymore, but because of like, you know, you have that history with them. There's still something that you could have you know, a friendship with. Yeah. Fair enough. I've ghosted people probably a decent handful of times for a variety of reasons, whether it's like people that turn and start being like creepy or flirty when I'm not into them, or just friendships that kind of get meh, and then stuff like that. But it's a mess. Humans are a mess. I don't know. I always was of the opinion that I could be friends with my exes if they were okay with it. Just because, you know, they're still someone important to me, and I think I've kind of discussed, I don't know, I don't think it's horrible to ghost people or to block them. It's kind of confusing to be on the receiving end of it, but, you know, do what you need to for you. It doesn't really have to be about what the other person wants or needs in a lot of ways. And stuff happens, you know, we all make mistakes, so it doesn't make you like a horrible person to make a mistake or to do something like that. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's a hard thing. I was the first ever person I dated like 4 different times. It's a long story. And in the span of like a couple months. So, another long story. And then we just stayed friends. Like, we promised to be best friends for like forever, and we just stayed friends, and we never had any weird like feelings or weird situations like that. I mean, I think maybe in the back of my head I still kind of had feelings for him, but I never acted on them, and he never like spoke about it, and we never, you know, wanted to go down that road again. So we were pretty clear about just being friends. I think it's very possible. I think definitely there are cases where it's like uncomfortable or not the greatest idea because people still have feelings on one end or the other, but it's been fairly possible for me in a few instances. I think I just have like attachment issues in that way, and I kind of hate the idea of letting go of someone that I have so much like time and history with. You know, I spent, you know, however much time being around them and caring for them, and they're still someone that would be like important to me in my life. So it's weird to just cut that, but I get that people need the separation too. And I've definitely had plenty of relationships where like things did not go well whatsoever, and I needed no contact, no friendship, nothing. A lot of like crappy breakups or crappy relationships and stuff. I think it kind of goes either way for my opinions. I definitely think once you get into like later adulthood, you kind of end up being friends with exes in a lot of cases because, you know, you either built a family together, had time together in a long-term way and stuff like that. You know, I see a lot of cases of like people that were married that are still friends with like their ex-wives or ex-husbands and stuff, and there's nothing, you know, uncomfortable about it because they're like, we obviously didn't work out, we know we didn't work out, we don't want to work out, but they were still, you know, there for me in a lot of moments, and we still can have that friendship. And then there's of course, you know, co-parenting and stuff like that when you have children together. That's why my mom was like really close friends when my mom was really close friends with like my brother's dad. She wasn't able to do that with my dad because they had, you know, a lot of issues and a lot of reasons to not like each other. But like with my brother's dad, she was always really close friends with him, and they always co-parented really well, and, you know, she talked to him about what was going on in her life a lot, and she'd go talk to him for a while whenever she was picking up or dropping off my brothers for their time together, and it was never like they were trying to be romantic again, it was just they were close. Like, she would always say, like, he's my family. I mean, I spent this many years with him, he's raising my kids, you know, he becomes kind of a family status in that point. That is a definitely what the hell moment. I can't say I blame you. I've definitely, not in that large of a gap, but I've definitely had sketchy situations with people that are much older than me that I should not have. I think probably the biggest gap was when I was like 13 or 14, and I believe he was in his 20s. I don't remember for sure. I know he was over 18, and I was like 13 or 14. And what's kind of even more messed up about it is he was also trying to like get with my best friend who was the same exact age. And I was so pissed. Not even at him, I was pissed at her because I talked about him all the time. And so she like knew that I was trying to be with him / with him, and I found on her phone that she was like sending him pictures, and just, it was so weird. And at the same time, like, girl, we were 13 or 14, you should not be sending pictures like that to people. It's not okay. Especially not a full-ass grown adult that should know better in many ways. Looking back, I can't even believe stuff like that because I'm, you know, in my 20s now, and I could never look at someone that's under 18 like that person's attractive. They're a literal child to me. I can think they're cool, I can think they have really good opinions. I would not be like, that person's attractive. It's just not a thought that ever crosses my head. It's just strange, you know. And even if there was like a mindset of like, oh, they're really attractive, I wouldn't be like, I want to date them. I would be like, you know, someone will date them that's good for them, you know. I don't know. I can't see this guy currently. I am shut in a bedroom. You what? Hi girl, my head is not your pillow, but I love you. Oh, the tail wags. Just think about unicorns. Okay. Beautiful unicorn is nice. Okay. I'm getting shot. Why are you upside down, dog? You're very distracting, you know that? Are you alright? Do you need to talk about it? Do you need assistance? Assistance, I say, like we're not, you know, thousands of miles away and there's literally zero assistance offered, but you get what I mean. Hey, girl. Help is on the way, dear. It's a Robin Williams thing, isn't it? Well, I hope you're alright. I'm gonna die. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog breathing. She's absolutely huffing into my microphone because she's laying on my leg in the malems. My leg, my arm. In the malems. Yes, I'm playing Minecraft with my legs somehow, evidently. I guess it would be I'm playing Minecraft with my feet somehow. Yeah, she's like super intense huffing into the microphone. I think she's like half dreaming, half awake, and she doesn't know what to do with herself. Baby girl. Cat, that's my headphones. I've got a friggin' cat on my back who keeps stretching and pushing my headphones around. I've got a dog on my arm who's just huffing into oblivion. I don't get it. This is what I mean when I've said, like, my animals are straight up clingers. They are cute. I hate that she's not really a puppy anymore, but I'm gonna call her a baby until the day she dies, so I don't care. She's gonna be 4 this year. Oh god, 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 help, 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 help. Yeah, she's always gonna be my puppy. She's my baby. That's just my baby dog. I don't know. It's so weird about like the topic of age things because I've definitely had friends that have felt, you know, the same way of like being interested in people that are younger than them. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, I've found people younger than me attractive before, but I'm not like, I don't know, I'd rather save their sanity. I've been through that and it's not, you know, healthy or good for you, and I wouldn't put someone else through that willingly. I don't think. I think that's the biggest thing. And once you get into ridiculous gaps, like the gap that I had, you know, growing up, or like, you know, your example of a gap, like you guys have literally nothing in common at that point. What do you want? It's the same vibe as like the 40-something-year-olds that'll go after like a freshly 18-year-old and then say like, I can train her or train him to be the right person for me. What? Huh? Sketchy. Yeah, I agree. My one of my old friends that I used to talk to was talking about how, and I mean we were probably 20 or 21. I want to say 20, and he was talking about how he had like real strong feelings for like a 17-year-old, which, you know, in the adult range of things, it's not that big of a difference. It's only a couple of years. In the, you know, one of you's 17 and one of you's 20, it's a little bit pushy of a weird age. And he was like, you know, I really like her and she's really nice to me and her family likes me and all these things, and he's like trying to ask me for advice, and I'm like, no. No, that's my advice, no. And he was like trying to justify it and kept being like, well, what do you mean, you know, like on and on and on, and I'm sitting here going, no, dude, that's not okay. Like, exactly. And I can't. My only opinion that I could give him was no. And he was like, and I was like, that's, you don't want to admit it right now, but that is literal pedophilia. And he got so uppity. He was like, I'm not even thinking about doing anything sexual with her. I just am attracted to her and I like her and she would be nice to spend time with. And I'm like, regardless of the sexual aspect, it's still pedophilia. It's still like, huh? I don't get it right now, dude. I couldn't. I honestly just like left him on red after he argued with me for like the 10th time about it, because I'm like, you're not listening, dude. I think my biggest point in it was, I was like, look, I have been the girl in that situation. You're fine. I don't mind people that use the R word for things. I just don't use it myself if I can help it. That's all. Sorry, I had to cough, so I had to mute. Yeah, I was like, I've been the, you know, the chick in that situation, the younger person in that situation, and as much as everything can be fine and dandy and it seems great, it's still not good for you. It's not good for the younger person. It's detrimental. It causes a lot of, you know, overly maturing for no reason. Like, the whole excuse of, oh, they're mature for their age being such a common thing among people that want to go for younger people is so dumb. I was like, no. Nope. Have fun, but no thanks. Not have fun. Please leave her alone and let her live her life, but if you're gonna ignore me, then no thanks. Bye. She's huffing again. The huffs. Exactly, that's my kind of thought process. That's why I'm like, even if I found someone younger than me, like younger than 18, attractive, I would never in any way try to act on it or tell them that, because it's just not, it's not okay to put someone through that. I don't even care about, you know, the concept of legal repercussions and all that sort of stuff. It's literally just not okay to put someone through that. Point blank. Hi, Miss Hops. I love you. You gonna sleep on my arm all night now? Got one eye open, that's not very good for sleeping. Good girl. You good girl. You know, like, at an age where it's under 18, I feel like the max difference y'all should be in is, like, maybe 2 years. And even that's sketchy depending on the placement and depending on, like, consent laws in your state, you know? I've always believed, in, like, the other people that have said, you know, it should be, like, you're a grade apart. Especially in younger years. At most, you're a grade apart type of thing. But, I don't know. Like, You know, like a 15 and a 17-year-old is vaguely okay in most states versus, you know, like a friggin' 13 and a 15-year-old or a 12 and a 14-year-old. And then you get into, you know, 17 and 19-year-olds, and it's iffy in a lot of states and iffy in a lot of situations, and it's a lot. Once you get into adulthood, you know, you can do what you want as far as age gaps. I ain't gonna judge you, but if you're, you know, age gapping, especially like super age gapping at a young age, it's like, what are you doing? Fair point. Fair point. In game, of course. Hey, girl. I'm pretty sure he never went after her, like, fully, but it was still just so weird that he was considering it, and it was so uncomfortable to be, like, on that end of the conversation of him considering it. Ugh, no thanks. I know, I'm like, thank God she didn't, you know, have to go through that, but I didn't want to put it on, I wanted to disenchant it. This enchant table is very dumb sometimes. What even is... Yeah. What even is, density 4? I have no clue what density is even for and what the feature is. I've seen it a billion times, but I just disenchant stuff that have it. I haven't seen it on anything. I've seen, like, books with it, so I don't know what it's even for. I don't know. I have, like, no armor. I should probably put some armor on. Boots and a helmet. Boots and a helmet. Yes, we're rocking mostly leather armor. I'm just trying to get rid of the leather we have. Alright. Good idea. I gotta drink some of my tea, honestly. But it's so far. Lazy person vibes. It's not actually that far. I just don't want to scooch with the cat on my back because she might claw me trying to hold on. Sorry, I have to answer my snaps because I have to answer Christy and my boyfriend. Pretty sky. Okay. Welcome back. I got distracted answering snaps for a second because Christy messaged me and my boyfriend messaged me. 28 days till my birthday. Woo. Not looking forward to it. I don't want to acknowledge that I'm 23. I don't want to acknowledge that time exists. I don't want to acknowledge that time is going by. You know, it's like when you go through the whole, you know, summertime and it hits the end of summer and you realize it's been way too fast and you're like, what am I doing? Why is there so much time going by so fast? Help. That's pretty much my entire life at this point. Or at least the last, like, 3 or 4 years of it. I'm glad water helped. I definitely gotta drink some water myself or some tea or both. Because my head is killing me, and I think that's probably part of the reason. Because my body's a little sensitive to when I don't get enough water, unfortunately. We have a lot of stuff. Like, we actually have a decent amount of pretty much every drop. We could trade off a bunch of rotten flesh pretty easily. We could make some TNT. I still can't believe we have 2 wither skulls. I'm definitely not fighting the wither anytime soon, if that's how hard I had it in just the nether. Yeah, that's a lot of bones, and we still have bone blocks too. Oh my god, you should see the amount of bones I had on that other world I showed you that I have, because I have that mob spawner that's a skeleton spawner that I optimized. It's just endless. There's never ending. And I think we did it on the world with my partner too. I think we have like a whole optimized skeleton farm, and it's just endless bones. Yeah, I have bone blocks somewhere. I think it's in my nether chest. I think we mined some. Yeah, we mined a stack of them from the skeletal remains. I kind of want to make a dried ghast into a ghastling. I like the happy ghast. They're cute, and I like their cool little saddles. But I don't know where I'd keep it for now, because otherwise they just kind of fly away and then you lose them. We definitely have enough ancient debris to last us a hot minute to make ingots if we, you know, had friggin' ingots. If we had the upgrade thing. Upgrade template. I want this. Maybe we'll set up a little brewing station. Maybe I'll make a mini station right here. I might make a little mini brewing station right here. I think I was talking about possibly using cherry wood as the interior decor wood. I don't know what to do for the interior decor wood, because I was going to use it all as like dark oak like I did for the staircase, because it kind of contrasts better. But I feel like I want to do something different. And spruce is too middle of the line for me. I like spruce in a lot of cases, but I think it's a little too middle of the line for me right now. And I mean, I already used dark oak for like this section, so I feel like not using dark oak is just kind of dumb. I don't know. I wouldn't use jungle really, because I don't tend to use it very much, and it's kind of an odd tone of color to me. I don't feel like using birch or oak, because those are, you know, the main structure, so they'd blend in too much. Acacia or cherry would be really cool to like add a pop of color, but I don't really know how they'd look with things. I have not heard of that channel. I don't know. I gotta pick something, so I guess I'll just use dark oak for now, because I want to set up a little brewing station. Do I have a cauldron? No. Alright, let's make a cauldron. Alright, let's do it like this, and like this. And then we'll put the cauldron here, and then that. Something like that as a little brewing station, just to have one. I think I'll make like a brewing build or something, or like a brewing room, but for right now that's a good little brewing station. How do I do weakness pots again? I probably have to Google it, because I am not gonna lie, I have no clue. I know I need 3 water bottles. I know I need blaze rods. Oh, you know what I just realized? Please tell me I have some already. I don't. I don't have any goddamn nether wart. So much for being finally able to brew. I miss Hops. I love you. The cat finally jumped off my back. Hi, baby. Yeah, hi, baby. The Hops and the Puffs. The puppy dog. Sleep is nice. I need some sleep for once, but I know damn well I ain't gonna. Give me my tea. Maybe the caffeine will help. I agree. I'm guilty of sleeping in the day, and it feels amazing. I used to literally sleep most of the time that my partner was gone for work. He works like 12-hour shifts from like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And he would leave, and I'd stay up until 9 or 10 a.m. and then just pass out until like 5 or 6 in the evening. It was not the smartest of times, but it was nice. I will tell you that much. But now I have to function and be a human and all that nonsense. I don't know what to do next. I was hoping to cure villagers, but I'm pretty sure we need netherwort for that. Can't we theoretically... We can't get netherwort from trading with piglins, I don't think. But can't you theoretically find it, like, growing in the soul sand section? Or does it only exist in... Yeah, being a functional human sucks. I'm exhausted and I'm sick of it. Especially having my disabilities. It's like, I don't want to. But, like I've said before, I have to just keep going through my disabilities because I'm not disabled. Ugh. Not even gonna lie, if I ever break up with this human, it's not gonna be very surprising. We'll have to make use of this tower somehow, too. I don't know. The world is not meant for my quirks. Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna look up if you can find netherwort anywhere that isn't fortresses, because I really don't want to go back to that fortress, and I didn't think there was any netherwort there. Can you find netherwort outside of... Oh my god, I wish you could see what I just typed. You know what? I'm gonna embarrass myself. This is what I just typed into Google. Excellent spelling. Excellent spelling. At least Google know what I meant. I'm all all of my Google searches are just unhinged like that. All of them show the actual correct spelling of it when I look them up on my history. Damn it. Yeah, all of my Google searches are stuff like that all the time. I just type and I hope it's semi-accurate enough that Google will figure out what the hell I mean, because 90% of the time I don't know what the hell I mean. Ugh, it only generates in fortresses and bastion remnants. And I didn't see like a place in that fortress where it would have been. Frustrating. I don't want to go back into the nether. I feel like a little kid. Don't make me. Ugh. I'm kind of glad in a way I have like a very limited number of friendships. Because my borderline is really hard to keep from like fixating on humans. I'm working on it. But usually we have this concept called a favorite person, where our brain will like idolize someone or multiple someones and essentially like base our entire existence on what that person like thinks or says or acts. So like if they don't answer you for, you know, an hour, your brain is spiraling into like, oh my god, why are they not talking to me? You know, I'm this terrible person and I'm, you know, boring them or doing this or doing that, or just this never-ending stupid spiral. And then, you know, when they are talking to you, you're like, the world is right again, everything's great. And it can get as serious as, like, you know, them not talking to you for a day can make you literally suicidal. And I've had it for a long time, and if across the multiple number of people, and it's really annoying and exhausting. I do it a lot in relationships, and then because of it, I'll isolate from literally everyone else besides my partner because I've just put them on this pedestal. And then it causes a lot of issues because, you know, if they go to spend time with someone else or go hang out with their family or leave the house even, it can, like, cause problems because I'm like, you're not spending enough time with me, you don't value me, and it's so dumb. I'm so sick of it. It's actually the main reason that my last relationship fell apart was I was just, like, being a ridiculous borderline mess and not realizing what I was doing. So I'm trying to realize, but I even do it with friends a lot of times too, not in the extent of like wanting to be with them, but in the extent of like fixating on them, and just like I'm doing good at a balance in some cases. Like my friend Christy, her and I have been friends for years, and I have been really good at not putting her on that pedestal most of the time. Like, she's still, you know, up there of like one of the most important people in my life and always has been, but I just like managed to kind of keep that slight differentiating in my brain. The annoying part is my brain typically does it the most with like men that I talk to or like boys that I talk to, because, you know, I did it as a teen, so boys, but men now, using quotes because plenty of men my age still act like boys, but it does it with like men more often than women in my life, which is a little irritating, because it's like, you know, that fixation almost makes it seem to them like I'm trying to, you know, like get with them or I have like feelings for them even when I don't, and it's just it's a mess, and I'm like not a fan of it. You know, if I start talking to a new friend or start talking to like a guy, it'll like start trying to fixate a lot of times, and I'll have to tell my brain, no, we're not doing that. Thanks, I'm all set. I don't want that. I'm good. I'm not doing that today. Thank you. But yeah, I get what you mean. For sure. Jeez. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of a lot of not so nice habits to myself, in cases like that too. You know, it gets, for me when I was doing it, it got kind of borderline like controlling-ish, or like manipulative-ish, because like they'd leave and I'd like hurt myself, and then they'd be like, why'd you hurt yourself? And I'd be like, because you left. And it's like, no, not okay, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. That would not be fun. That was fun is not it's not an accurate statement. It's really like annoying and hard to balance it though when you're fixated on someone, because, you know, when I was friends with people, okay, fair enough. When I was friends with guys, before my relationship, and we never like had anything, you know, romantic or sexual or anything going on, I would be like super fixated on them, and like, you know, if they didn't answer me just because, I had one friend that was famous at it, he wouldn't answer very often just because he literally worked like 80 hours a week, and he would come home, maybe eat food and go to sleep, and then repeat the cycle until the weekend or his days off, and then he'd have a little bit of time to himself, and he'd like answer people and try to, you know, spend time playing video games and stuff like that. And I had hung out with him before, like when he was working and stuff, so I knew that's his routine. I knew, you know, he pretty much worked all day, got home, and was falling asleep on the couch before he even could like do anything. So my brain knew logically that he didn't have much time to answer people, and that was kind of, you know, his schedule, but I still would be so broken up about it and be like, he's not answering me, I'm like a terrible friend, and I'm annoying, and that's why he won't answer me, is because I'm not a good friend. Oh my god, I hate my brain sometimes. But those days are behind me because I don't have male friends anymore, but, you know. I kind of almost get in trouble even streaming and like talking to you guys, because if I'm talking to guys on stream, even if it's just chill, even if I'm not like, because you know, you and I talk and like it's fine. We're not here trying to flirt with each other. No, we're not here trying to, you know, hit on each other. We're just talking. You like there's not, you know, we're trying to get each other's social media. We're not trying to talk outside of stream. You just chill in stream, and I go see your streams sometimes if I'm awake. I missed your streams because I was asleep and I was a little irritated. But if I'm awake, I go see your streams, you see my streams. It's just, we just vibe. And even that gets like vaguely in trouble sometimes in my relationship because he's like, it's a guy. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not trying to be with other guys. I am actively streaming. There is literal video evidence of me just vibing. There's nothing. But yet I like, and that's the thing that cracks me up, as I've mentioned, I'm queer and I'm into whatever, and I'll be flirting with chicks and he's perfectly fine with it, but if I'm like vaguely vibing or chatting with a dude, he's like, ah. Don't make sense, buddy, don't make sense. I need to get back up to level 30, honestly. Maybe we'll fish. Yeah, I'm definitely not masochist territory. I have a high pain tolerance, so I'm kind of like okay about pain, but I don't really enjoy it that much, except for certain instances that are not going to be talked about on stream, because that gets a little bit on another topic. But, yeah. Hey, baby girl. Hi, baby girl. Why are you huffing and puffing? Can you breathe normal? You breathe normal. Yeah. Fair. I miss my stuffed animals. They're all in a box in the closet. I like bought myself the Oogie Boogie stuffed animal they made from Build-A-Bear because it came out around the time of my birthday one year. So I was like, birthday present. I find myself birthday presents like once a year-ish. I'll get myself one or two things. Because then it kind of like prepares me for if someone doesn't get me gifts, so I'm not like bothered by it, because I don't expect gifts from people, but you know, like when it's someone that normally gets me gifts or talks about getting me gifts and then they don't, it's kind of like weird and upsetting, so I just buy myself gifts so I don't get bothered by it. Boba stuffed animals. Okay, I love that. I have a few. You remember those, the flippable, like, octopus ones that were going viral for ages, that are probably still kind of around, but not really talked about much anymore? The ones that were, like, you flip it one way and it's, like, one color, and it's got the happy face, and then you flip it the other way, it's got the frowny face. I've got, like, 4 of those, because I got, one of the website deals that were, like, buy one, get 3 free, and I couldn't resist. So I've got a few of them. I named all my stuffed animals, but you couldn't pay me enough for me to remember all their names anymore because it's been so long. They're like in a box in my closet, because I used to put them out on my bed, but now, you know, 2 people in the bed doesn't really make much space for them. I don't know how many stuffed animals I have in total. I can't get into my closet, otherwise I would deadass just like walk over with my microphone on and go count them. But maybe I can find an old photo of them. I don't know. Maybe I can find an old photo of them on my Snap real quick. I probably could. Because it was around the era of when I first got my cat, when I had them out on the bed and took a picture of them. And that was 2020? So I could scroll through 2020 and see, because I don't have that many photos in 2020 saved. %of my stream is just me giving my dog kisses. It's not weird at all. Like, I 1,000,000% would. When I was with my ex, whenever he would go, like, spend the weekend at his friends and stuff, I had this giant sloth stuffed animal, because I love sloths. I had this giant sloth stuffed animal that was the size of, like, a human, and I would sleep either on top of it or, like, wrapped up around it and cuddle with it for sleeping, because it would make me feel like someone was still with me. Yeah, I do it all the time. And I still would if it wasn't for the fact that my dog would probably think it's a toy and try to destroy my stuffed animal, and then I would cry. Because my dog's a psychopath, and she destroys any stuffed animal I have bought her for a toy. I bought her a lamb chop stuffed animal. If you know what lamb chop is, it's like a sheep character from a kid's show back in the 90s. Anyways, I bought her a lamb chop stuffed animal when she was a puppy. She was like a few months old, and I bought her at training because when we brought her to training, to her puppy training, it was at like a pet store. It was at a PetSmart, and you know, you could have them in there in the store and everything. And we would bring her in and we'd do training, and then afterwards we'd let her like pick out a treat or pick out a toy. Like we'd walk through the aisle and she could sniff everything, and then she could pick something. And I let her pick out a lamb chop stuffed animal, and she lasted the whole ride home with it fine. And then we got home, and within like 3 days, that dog had completely massacred the stuffed animal, to the point that I was sweeping up stuffing like every 2 hours, and then I couldn't find the pieces of the stuffed animal, and then she just starts walking around with its head. She emptied the whole thing, ripped apart the rest of it, and left its head as one fabric piece, and was walking around with the head of lamb chop emptied like it was her baby, and happy as hell and wanting to play with it for like weeks. My dog looked like a psychopath. It cracked me up because she was a little puppy and she was so happy with something hanging out of her mouth, and it was just the head of lamb chop. What? I think I'm making her dream about it because she's sitting here now like chomping and lemming in her sleep. Yeah, like a warrior. She just chomped and malemmed in her sleep. Hi, did I wake you up? Were you thinking about your lamb chop? And I've tried, and you know, it's a puppy thing. She was like a puppy. So I thought, you know, maybe it was just a puppy stage thing. She'd be a little gentler with her toys as she got older. So I've tried getting her stuffed animals a few other times, and every time they end up ruined. They end up completely gutted. And then she plays with the fabric parts of their remains for a while, and then she just forgets about their existence. So I don't trust her with stuffed animals. If I had like my like prized possession stuffed animals around her and she destroyed them, I would be so upset. Especially my Build-A-Bears, because Build-A-Bears are not goddamn cheap. Those things are friggin' like minimum of $30 every time I've had to get one. I am not spending $30 on something for my dog to eat it. It's not happening. I love that you have like giant teddies. That's awesome. I always wanted them as a kid, like seeing, you know, they used to have like sales on them at a store in my hometown around Valentine's Day, where you could like buy one get one free, or like buy one and get half its worth back as a gift card, so you're only spending like half the price on it technically, and stuff like that. And I would beg my parents for them so much, and then I got adult money and I was like, I'm gonna buy myself one, and then I never did, and I'm so sad. I think I got to cuddle with one of them like once because my mom's ex got it for her, and she never like did anything with it. It just sat in a corner of her room, and then they broke up, and I was like, I want that bear. I want it. And then she's like, okay, and she just let me have it. And I think I cuddled with it for like a week before we had to move, and it got like forgotten in one of the moving trips, and I was so upset. Yeah, I like feeling squished. I'm definitely the person that would like use a weighted blanket or use like 4 or 5 comforters on top of me, so I feel like squished and I feel the pressure. It's nice. I like it. I like pressure. I will literally ask a full human being to just like sit or lay on me because I like the pressure. It is very nice. It's what makes me chill right out. It's very, very good. It's like not when I'm overstimulated, because if I'm overstimulated, even a hug bugs me. But if I like need pressure, I'll ask to be like squeezed to death, or just like sit on me, please, or lay on me. I just need the pressure, please. I need the weight. We have a weighted blanket, but it's super light, and then it like keeps sliding off of us at night because it's the 2 of us, so we don't really use it much. I'm actively gonna look up my stuffed animals. Me too. I had one house that we lived in where I had like a decent little like closet space that was like a little bigger than the normal closets I would have, and I made it into a full like cozy space to vibe out and retreat from the world. Alright, where is my pictures? I also actually created my bed frame with that specifically in mind. My bed frame is bookcases. They're like the cube bookshelves that I made in a rectangle and left one end open of, and then I made like a plywood and 2x4 structure in the top and the middle to make it really stable in the middle too. And that means that there's like a whole little space underneath it that's just like a little open space, and I added like fairy lights, and I used to keep blankets and pillows down there, and I would just like curl up there for hours. Yes, there's my stuffed animals. So yeah, I have more since then, but I had 4 of the octopus ones. I had a Build-A-Bear Baby Yoda one, which I don't even watch Star Wars, I just liked it. I don't remember what scents I have in the Build-A-Bear ones, because they have scent things in them too. I have a Toothless as a Build-A-Bear, which is so cute, because his wings come off. His wings are super scratchy fabric, and they're kind of annoying, but they come off at least, so when I'm just like cuddling him, it's fine. And then I have a Minecraft bee, and then I have a Eevee from Pokemon as a Build-A-Bear, but that one's seen better days because I've had that since like 2016, and I used to sleep with it every night, so it's super like deflated and matted looking and kind of meh. And then I had a couple llama stuffed animals, and now I also have an Oogie Boogie one from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I think I have a couple more, but I don't remember. And I still have my giant sloth somewhere, but he's also very smooshed because it's been a long time. What? You brat. Not fair. My boyfriend told me he was going to Applebee's, but he's going to Weather Vane. I like Weather Vane. Ugh. It's fine. I'll go to Weather Vane at some point. I'll probably pester my father into bringing me to Weather Vane at some point soon. It's like, it's a restaurant, it's a seafood restaurant that's like 45 minutes to an hour away from where we live. It's so good, but it's seafood, so it's pricey. Oh, you found my other YouTube channel? YT. My other YouTube channel. Fair enough. I don't mind you seeing it. It's kind of cringe, but it's a vibe. I really don't mind people that I'm okay with seeing it. It's just not something I like super publicly share anymore. Ow. I still don't know what goddamn color to do this so I can finish this, because I know I'm doing tinted glass on the sides, but I don't know which of these colors I would do to work with that for the front. Super sneaky. What's your opinion? There's gray, black, and purple, and that's tinted. I don't know which one would go best. Either way, it's gonna be panes, not blocks. I just didn't have panes of black. Black. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking so, because it's the most similar. I feel like the purple's a little too vibrant for the situation. Even though this is like purple-ish. I think purple's a little too vibrant. Yeah, I'm torn between black and gray too. Do I have a silk touch something so I can just like pick them up and put them directly in front of the tinted glass so I can see? Maybe I have a silk touch something. If not, I have silk touch boots, but can I break it with a silk touch shovel? Will it work? Yeah, purple's too bright. It's too much. I agree. I was thinking purple because the tinted has a kind of like purple-ish sheen to it on like the edges, but it's just too much. Oh, whoops. Alright, let's put the black and the gray like right here so we can actually see like what it looks like next to it and in front of it. I think black fits the vibe to like match, but gray kind of adds like an interesting similarity but different. Yeah, I think I prefer black too, honestly. I'm gonna see if I have black panes to like triple check the look of it. I'm gonna see if I have black panes, because I think the glass blocks is kind of throwing me off. And now I know I have something silk touch, I don't mind placing down a bunch of it just to genuinely see what it looks like. Gray, and then I have black glass, which should be able to turn into stained glass panes. Alright, let's set up a bit of these and see what they look like. Yeah, I don't mind. I've switched since I started this build, which is why I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm genuinely just gonna do this, and then we'll see what it looks like. I don't have enough to finish it, do I? I do. Okay, so there's black. And then I guess I'll do, oh, I don't have any tinted glass up here. I was gonna say, I guess I'll do gray up here. There's black. And then there's gray. That's difficult. I'm just staring at it like it's gonna give me an answer. Yeah, I agree. Gray makes sense if I want it to be a little more visible from the outside, because it's gonna be like plants and stuff. But black kind of makes more sense to like stay matching to the tinted. I think I like the lighter vibes, because again, then you can kind of see it better from the outside too. Or I could just go like crazy and do one floor being one color and the other floor being the other color, or leave it split like this. I couldn't decide, it's gonna be both. Because I could totally do like one floor being one color and the other floor being the other color. I actually might do that, because hear me out. If I do gray on the bottom, I agree, it does look like prettier through the black. If I do gray on the bottom, it's more of a like, you look through it so you see the plants, but this is off my bedroom, so I would want some privacy. So black's a little bit more like hidden. I sound like a maniac. I'm just spitballing right now. I might honestly just leave it like that. I couldn't decide, so I did both, you know? It's fine. I like it. It's staying that way. It's staying there. And when someone asks why they're split, I'm gonna go, don't just tell me to do it! It's his fault! Not really. And yes, I said tell on purpose because I was trying to sound like a toddler. Where is my amethyst? I had amethyst. Now where the hell did I put it? I don't have an amethyst chest. Where is my amethyst? Where is my amethyst? Why can't I find it? Hello, world. Amethyst. Please. Thanks. Amethyst. I bet it's in my stone. No, it was your fault. You did it. You told me to. It's probably in my stone chest. Yep, and I don't have any individual crystals. No, I am innocent always. I have no capability. I have no culpability in my own decisions as an adult and as a streamer. I am just forced to do whatever Dantes wants forever. Geode 690 1584. God, that's so far away. Nah, I ain't doing that. You can't pay me enough for that. Maybe we can go check out that mine shaft that was close by. Under the influence of coffee. Fair. I cannot be responsible for what I do under the influence of coffee either. I'm like genuinely insane when it comes to having coffee because I have it fairly infrequently now. I had like a medium iced coffee the other day and I was wild. I was feral for like 80% of the day. Hi. Can you not put your paw on my chest region, please? That's kind of weird. I don't want to be groped by a dog. I'm gonna remove your paw now. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. She acted like she was dead. I picked up her paw and put it down by like letting go of it and it just thumped back onto the bed. Yeah, nothing happening here, just my dog evidently deciding she wants to touch things she should not touch. Touch things that nobody should touch, but you know. My body. Alright, I'm gonna bring these with me and go trade these to the cleric in that village, and then I'm gonna go check out that mine shaft. I think that was right by it. I really should go get Nether wart so we can just use potions to get villagers, but I cannot be bothered. I think that like really frustrates 80% of my partners is that I'm really weird about physical touch. Like 10% of the time I'll be like, you know, like be in my space, I want to be inside your skin, be around me now. And then 90% of the time I'm like, don't touch me, please. I will either cry or scream or both. Please, don't touch me. I'm all set. I have no touchy. No touchy. But that's what happens when you get with someone that's neurodivergent and very easily overstimulated. I think that's what cracks me up about those situations is like I'm very transparent from the start of meeting anyone that I'm very neurodivergent in like my specific diagnostics and diagnoses and stuff. I mean, granted, I've gotten a few more diagnoses since I met the person that I'm with, but I've been upfront about my diagnoses the whole time, and like even as I'm, you know, getting more, I'm still talking about them, and then they'll like find problems with specifically things that are symptoms and traits of those diagnostics and diagnoses, and it's like, I warned you. I told you what was happening. You didn't believe me, or you believed me and didn't know, so. Yeah. Fair. You know, like, for example, like, one of my partner's biggest things is he gets really frustrated that I'm not very social, and that I, like, prefer to stay home when it comes to most things, including his family, and he'll try to be like, you just don't like my family, and stuff like that, and I'm like, no, I just don't like humans. I told you I'm literally autistic, and being around people is extremely draining for me, and I don't do well with social situations. It's not you. It's literally my brain. I'm glad that it's going good for you, though. I was doing a lot of, like, kind of self-therapizing for a long time, because I was in between therapists, and I was having a hard time wanting to get back into therapy with the fact that I, you know, finally got used to the last one that I had, and then she ended up not practicing at the same practice and couldn't do therapy for me anymore, and I was like super confused and broken up about it. So I was like, I don't want to, you know, get into the whole can of worms of trying to open up and trust someone new again. And I ended up finally going into it after a while, but in between then I was really heavily relying on just learning about myself and, you know, working through my stuff on my own. I, like, honest to God, I need, like, to have a male human being just listen to the entire, like, 2-year story of what my relationship has been and tell me if I'm just crazy for thinking it's not that great, or if it's, like, normal, or what, because I don't comprehend, and I just kind of gaslight myself into thinking I'm insane for thinking the way I'm thinking, and then it just endlessly continues. And when I tell any of my, like, female friends I have, they're like, you look hot and you're this nice, sweet person, so you should never have someone treat you that way. And I'm like, that's not helpful. I mean, yeah, it's nice, but, like, A, you're biased, so that's not helpful. B, you're not, like, thinking about it completely. You're just, like, complimenting me. And then C, just the bias thing. That's cool. I would so do that. I love that. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I thought there was a cleric here. Wasn't there a cleric here? Yeah. Because that's a brewing stand place. Okay. Cleric. Take all my rotten flesh, please. Thank you. Don't mind if I do. Alright, let's go look for that mine shaft, because it's down in this mine here. Yeah, I don't know, like, I've talked to my parents about stuff, but also my parents are incredibly biased, and my father's just ridiculously protective, so he's like, men shouldn't treat you that way, but at the same time, he's like, I just want to hurt people that treat you that way, which is kind of sketchy, not helpful, thanks, type of thing. Ooh, emeralds. Whoa, I got a few out of that. I got 2. I got a few, and it's just 2. It looked like it was like 4, but it was just 2. Wow. Alright, the mine shaft was somewhere down here. And I have to be careful because it was a giant drop. I should have brought like a water bucket or something, but I'm just gonna hope I can find water to fall into. Literally, I have to be like, no, stop it. Bad brain. Wrong brain. You be quiet. You're the wrong voice I need right now. I'm talking to this part of me, not you. Be quiet. Found it. There is water. There's not water. Oh, there is water nearby. How much we bet I die? Place your bets now. I got water right here. I'm gonna manage to go kersplat somehow. I'm glad you have so much faith in my ability to survive. Not. Fair. Alright, here goes nothing. Whoosh. I did it. Ha! I win. I did it. I would have betted with you on the 100% chance of death, though, so I can't say I win. Alright, let's see if we get some good stuff from a friggin' mine shaft. Oh god, it's so confusing already. I'm guilty of getting completely lost in mine shafts for like hours, so I'm kind of nervous. Just ignore the other comment. You definitely believed in me. #1 believer here. You knew I had it in me. I don't know. And I don't know why it's like I specifically want an unbiased opinion from like a guy. I think it's because I feel like, you know, a guy would say whether he would treat someone that way or not. But then you get into the weird like gray area of, you know, that person could be also not the greatest partner, so they could be saying, yeah, I would do that, but it's not good to do in the first place. I don't know, it's hard. I just feel like getting the opinion from like a guy would be a little bit more valid, because women just kind of have expectations and they don't always follow those expectations, and also the roles of like a woman versus a man in like a heterosexual relationship are a little different, whether we want them to be or not, whether we try to be woke or not. There's still kind of a little bit of a difference in like the roles that we play, so it's kind of hard to like pass judgment on a role that you wouldn't really do. I don't know. Very confusing brain. Like, you know, I wouldn't be able to pass judgment on how a guy's treating someone. Like, I can vaguely say, like, you know, I feel like you deserve better, like, to my friends and stuff, but not say whether that's, like, an okay or not okay thing to do, because I'm not a guy. I wouldn't know. It's confusing. I think my brain just makes a lot more out of it than it is. At least you sort of understand. At least I'm not just completely like, what the hell are you talking about? At least it's only like 50% what the hell are you talking about. I will take that. There are mobs everywhere. I'm trying to keep my torch system going of where I specifically put them only on one side of where I'm walking. I feel like we have similar brains 90% of the time and we're just vibing. That's one of the reasons I get along with the one girl friend that I have. Because like I gravitate towards people that are really similar to me, and they're the people I tend to get along with the best because they put up with my nonsense a lot longer. And that's how like her and I became friends, even in early high school, because we were incredibly similar. And now we just keep saying like, why did we grow up to be the same humans again? What is happening? Because now she's in her mid-20s and I'm in my early 20s. So you'd think theoretically we like kind of differ from each other over the years and things would have been different, especially because we didn't talk for a lot of the last few years. Again, with my brain fixates too much on my partner and isolates from everything. How dare you say we're similar? No, I don't agree with you. Get away from me, I don't know you. Where am I going? I got quiet because I'm trying to figure out where to go, not because I was offended or anything. It really doesn't bother me. I know we're literally just bantering back and forth. I don't care. I have to clarify because I think sometimes, like, when I go quiet, the timing of our conversation makes it seem like something's bugging me about the conversation, when 90% of the time I'm just spacing out at the screen. Especially when I'm streaming for like 4 or 5 hours, once I start hitting... Oh, there's some chests over there. Once I start hitting the closer to the 3 or 4 hour mark, my brain just starts completely fizzing out, and I'm just staring at the screen blankly, mindlessly playing. And I realize about halfway through, and I'm like, I should probably be talking about something, but a little late for that now. How do I get over there? It has to be all interconnected somehow. could just walk over there. I could walk over here. But then I lose kind of the concept of me putting torches where I came from. Because then I'm just everywhere. Ah! What is it with zombies right now? This is a spawner, isn't it? Oh, it's just diorite. I thought the diorite was the spider webs all in a cluster. So many baby zombies down here. And that one lit me on fire. Hey, a chest. Yes, because throwing my friggin' arrow from my bow is gonna light my way. I don't know if I want to take rails right now. I think I'll come back to this if I need rails at some point. I think they're just kind of inventory clogging for no reason. Because normally I'd be mining the rails underneath me and everything too. But I just, ugh. I feel like they're gonna clog up my inventory for no good reason, honestly. I like dinosaurs. I wish I had like a dinosaur stuffed animal. I think that's next on my list of stuffed animals that I need. The statement I was going to ask next would probably be blasphemous to many Star Wars fans, so I'm going to shut my mouth. I haven't seen Star Wars, okay? I've only been offered to see it like 20 times and I still haven't seen it, but okay. Yeah. I've definitely had very not so appropriate reactions to people telling me terrible things that are happening to them for various reasons, whether it's because like I don't understand it or it just happens to trigger something in my brain that amuses me or some weird combination of the two. It's usually like very offensive to the people, but I'm just like, sorry. What? I should have known that. I did hear her going in the background. I just didn't think much of it at the time. And now I'm poisoned. 2 chests in a row. That'll make me feel better. That'll erase the poison from my body. I like really piss people off when they're talking to me about horrible things that have happened to them. Because I do the neurodivergent thing where like I'll say something similarly horrible that happened to me, not as trying to turn things about me, and like just as like trying to express that I can understand where you're coming from a more specific, like more I genuinely understand this type of way. Because I don't like saying like I get what you mean or I know how you feel, because that feels very surface level and irritating, and when people say that to me in the middle of me talking about something, it really kind of bugs me. Unless I know like they specifically have a reason that they would know how I feel. It's like, no, you really don't. So that's where I kind of will like say something about, you know, something that happened to me that's really similar, and then most people will think I'm trying to make it about myself or trying to like play the